Hey guys, this is Garrett here with the Career Crate and Resume Box. You're probably here because you bought this resume on Etsy, but if you found your way here on YouTube, please feel free to follow the link below and get your copy of this template for $7.95. You're probably going to be able to figure out how to make it yourself just by watching the tutorial, but I'm telling you, $7.95 is well worth the time that you're going to save by using the pre-made template. There's two things that I want to talk about before we begin. One is I'm using a new recording software that doesn't have the noise reduction capabilities of my last one, and I'm beside a road. So I've decided to make these videos later at night so the traffic's died down, but there still is the occasional car, and I apologize for any noise that they may create, and hopefully we can make it through this without too many distractions. The second thing is you may notice right here that this is a diamond, and the resume you bought or the thumbnail from YouTube that you've clicked on may not be a diamond, but I make these things in sets. So there are 4 resumes that are essentially identical except for this shape here. They have a slightly different design element. Now the tutorial, that way I don't have to make 4 times more tutorials, I've decided to use only one, and they all work exactly the same. So with that introduction, let's begin. I'm going to show you how this thing's put together and how to make any changes that you want. And at the end of the video, after you start working on your resume, if you still need help, just shoot me an email or a message on Etsy, and I'm going to help you within 24 hours. That's my goal, and that's what I'm trying to stick to. We may not be able to get your resume to completion within 24 hours, but we'll be well within our way. And if we're having major issues, we can get together on Skype or Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and we can fix it together. I'll take the time to do that if we really have to do that, because I want your resume and your career search to be successful. So with that, there are 4 sections that we're going to talk about. 1 is text boxes. 2 is the words themselves, the fonts, the colors, and the text spacing. 3 are your icons, and number 4 are the outline rectangles. So number 1, let's go with the text boxes. So everything is in a text box. This blue box is a text box. It can be moved. Same thing here. This is a text box, and we're going to get back to this one. Sorry, I clicked on that one so quickly. All these are in text boxes. And what's great about text boxes is they're more versatile. They're not locked down to where the lines would be on a Word document. So for example, we can take this and just move it right there if we want to. Let's go ahead and move it back, but you get the point. So these things, you can move them within their rectangles and put them exactly where you want them to be for whatever, just customize them however you want. This text box is different. This is a group of text boxes. So if you click the outside one, you can move all of it together. If you click the smaller one, you can move the text independently. And if you choose the icons, these can be moved independently. So, alright. So now that's pretty much it for text boxes. One thing to say, no, we'll do that in fonts. Okay, let's talk about fonts and the words themselves. So we're going to go ahead and highlight all this. It's in Times New Roman. It can be changed to any font that you want it to be. This one's going to go over great. This is the font for you guys and to send to your potential employer. So you can change the font. You can change the color. If you click here, you'll notice one of those squares is already highlighted. This one, that's the color of the text is already. You can change it to whatever you want. You can change the size of the text. If you go too big, you're going to have to increase the size of the text box and the rectangle that it's in, that way to accommodate it. And you can do that with this little arrow here. You'll have to do it with the rectangle and the text box. Now, word spacing is the most advanced feature here. Actually, I'm so sorry. I got ahead of myself. Let's talk about the colors. This gold is a custom color. And if you open up here, you'll notice that it's not in the palette. So to get it in the palette, let's go to more colors and it's already selected. So we're going to hit OK without changing anything. Now when we open this up, it's in recent colors. It's now part of your palette, and you can use it in any part of the resume that you want. It's going to match what's already there. So with that being said, let's get on to the text spacing. These words are all normally spaced apart, which means the letters sit right beside each other. But in the titles and in the names, they're not. They're actually got an expanded spacing. So if we go to this little arrow on font and go to advanced, you'll see that the spacing is expanded by 6 points. Let me show you what happens if we change that to 0. You see how the letters got back together? I don't like the way it looks. And you know, it may be different for each individual person. Everybody's got a different name. It's going to be a different length. You may want to expand the spacing. You may want to make it smaller. Depends on really what you're going for. For me, I think the 6 point looks really nice. So if we go back, let's go to expanded by 6. Change it back to the way it was. And that's probably going to be the most advanced feature on any of the text related things here. So with that, let's talk about the icons for a second. I've included an icon pack, and the way to get those icons in, if you choose to use those instead of the ones that are already on here, is you just right click them, copy them, come over here, paste them into this document. When you paste them, they're going to be a different size. So let me show you how the icons work. Well, I've clicked this one. I'm actually going to click this one instead. Go to graphics format, and you'll see the size is 0.28 inches by 0.28 inches. That's just what I've chosen. You may choose to change that a little bit. You may want to go to 0.35, 0.25, and it's all your personal preference. You can change it to see how you see fit. But when you move the new ones in, they're going to be like an inch. So I don't think it's going to work. I don't think there's enough space on a page for that. So you're going to want to go ahead and change their size to something manageable in this kind of a range. And if you want to talk about their color, we can go to graphics fill. Look what happened. So if you use graphics fill, it just filled in the whole dot. Now you have a gold dot. It's not even an icon anymore. So don't use graphics fill. We're going to go to graphics outline. And graphics outline is going to change the color of your icon. And that's going to be it for icons. And now let's talk about the outline triangle or rectangles. So each one of these lines are created by rectangles that are just perfectly put together on the edges, so they create the illusion of being continuous lines. So if you click there, you'll see this rectangle. I found that the rectangles on the right are easier to select at the top. The rectangles on the left are easier to select on the left side. So you'll see that rectangle here. This rectangle goes from top to bottom, and this one's in its own individual rectangle. This isn't in a rectangle. It's just surrounded on all sides by rectangles, so it didn't need one. This is in its own, and this is in one that goes on through the whole page. So likewise, this one is just one big rectangle since it's continuous. That's how you select them. Let's talk about changing one a little bit. So if you look here, you have a reference sheet. If you decide to use a reference sheet, you don't need these. But let's just say for the sake that you're going to delete one of them. So now that we've deleted one of these references and we want to make more space for extras, let's move the text box up to the correct size. Let's move the rectangle up to the correct size. And actually that went under the text box. So let's move it to there. And we're going to bring up the size of this text box. Now we have plenty more room. So we can add extras, we can add more, or you can take and copy and paste from the 3-page version. It has a more expanded version of the extra section that gives more detail, including the organization that gave you the membership or the course, the year that you took it in, those types of things. So you can copy and paste that here into the spot here if you'd like. You can use the 3-page resume if you'd like to use it as well. The one thing to take into consideration here, and this is what's important, is now that we've moved this rectangle, the diamond no longer lines up. So first off, let's just move it into a general position. To really get it perfect, we're going to have to zoom in all the way. And let's move this. And, that's pretty close. Let's go ahead and... That's pretty close. Alright. Now watch this. It looks bad right here. But when we zoom out, it looks fine. Whenever it gets printed out, it's going to look perfect. When somebody reads this on Word as a PDF document, however they view it at 100% view, everything's going to look perfect. You're not going to have an issue there. And that's really all there is about this. That's pretty much it. If you don't care, please take a moment to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates on my new products. I'm going to be doing digital planners. I'll be doing business creation paperwork and a lot of other things that are going to help you enhance your career or your potential business if you want to start your own business. And other than that, it's going to help me with the algorithm, help other people find these templates, and hopefully I'll be able to help more people with the services that I provide. Thank you for your support, and if you have any issues, please feel free to send me a message and I'll help you out, help you the best that I can. I hope you have a great day and wish you the best on your career and your job search, and I hope that you get the career that you deserve. Thank you guys.